Rebel salute, rebel salute, rebel salute. How is everyone doing right there, wherever they are, wherever you are watching this from, whether you're from Australia, Antarctica, North America, Africa, Asia, Europe, New Zealand, all the continents, wherever you are. I hope you're doing good, and I hope your heart or your spirit and your soul is well with your creator, okay? All right, today we are going to discuss Kenya celebrates the 60th year of being colonized by the British. I know some of you might be celebrating, oh, we got independence in 1963. No, you did not get independence. The only thing you got is the British, the Mzungu, the white man said, you know what? It's quite expensive for us to have troops on the ground fighting these Mau Mau people and trying to get these people to do what we want, colonize them, okay? It's very expensive. We are having a backlash at home. People are complaining that they're losing troops on the ground. So it will be easier if we find useful idiots like Jomo Kenyatta, who was a British agent, pay him a lot of money, and let him, who used to be a houseboy in Buckingham Palace, let him rule that nation, and they'll be happy because they'll think that they are actually free from colonization. Basically, what I'm saying is this: in 1963, the so-called Day of Independence, when Kenya became a republic, it was never a republic. It has never been a republic. It's still a British colony, still ruled by the British, okay? Every law that's being passed is being done so to profit the British Empire that is still well alive. I know. Most of you are saying, oh, no. You know, some of you are like, who understand how I understand it, that the IMF and the World Bank and all these Brentwood organizations are ruling Kenya. Yes, ask yourself, who does IMF report to? Yes, they report to the crown, the British crown. So don't be fooled. That's why I tell you, the British are still ruling Kenya. Okay, let's get to this. I want to just talk about something that's out of it. It's kind of related, but it's not out of the topic, okay? Now, I've always told my fellow Kenyans that if you really want change in Kenya, look no further than Burkina Faso. I know Burkina Faso are kind of working on their freedom as we speak right now. The first thing that you have to do to be free is you have to be able to defend yourself against the oppressors, the colonizers, okay? You have to be able to defend yourself. If you can't defend yourself, you will not stand independently, okay? So how did Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger defend themselves? They had the help from none other than Putin, the president of Russia. I know most of you might be saying, Putin is a Mzungu. How can you say that Putin has good intention? Well, Putin did not start operating in Africa yesterday. Putin has always stood with Africans from 1970s and 60s, okay? When he helped train the Umkhonto Sizwe and the Mugabe forces and the forces in Angola, in Tanganyika, okay? Putin has always stood with Africa because he understood that the African nations, if they stand independent and are able to defend themselves, it will take off pressure from the West trying to breach the laws, the rules of engagement in Russia. Okay, he understood that, so he's always been playing chess. That back then when he was working for KGB. So coming back to Kenya, you might ask yourself, and that's why I want to use this Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, how they're doing it. Okay, of course they had external help. They had the help of Putin through the mercenary group. I forgot their names. Somebody remind me on the chat if you're here. The name of that group, the Russian mercenary group that is helping Niger. Okay? What happened before they took off power? Okay? To fight the French and the Blackwater. Okay? The Blackwater is the western the Western. This is a Western group, mercenary group. You know, remember last week the Niger forces, no, Burkina Faso forces, okay, they discovered 1,000 rebels, mercenaries, Western mercenaries, Blackwater and others, okay? Remember these mercenaries, the new war is not being fought by forces. They're using special operations, okay? The Blackwaters of this world, okay? That's how the new war, especially in Africa, is being fought. If you go to Congo today, okay, the people who are actually causing a lot of chaos in Congo are these special forces units, these Blackwater units, whether it's from French and the Americans, okay, who are in Congo, who are helping, securing the interest in Congo. That's how it's been done, okay? And that's why Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore has survived more than 4 assassination attempts, okay? And he's fighting to clear out all this. Remember, this is how they come to your country. They know legally, the colonizers know that they cannot stay in your country legally. So what do? They use terrorism. They fund terrorism, terrorists to terrorize people. Then they'll say, oh, you know what? Your country is facing terrorism, and this is now a problem to us. It's an issue for us also because we have interest there. So they send their troops to come occupy your country in the name of fighting terrorists. And Burkina Faso said, no, we don't need your help. We have our own source. We have our own forces. We shall fight this terrorism with the help of this. Hi, Godia. I can see you. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Godia is out. He's in the house. We have to shout him out. He's a very good supporter of these small channels. I see him in different channels, so I have to salute, rebel salute to Mr. Godia. Okay? So as I was saying, okay, these guys fund terrorism in your country, and then they send their troops, because that is a way of bringing their troops, okay? Legally, they'll say, you know what? We are coming to protect our interests since these terrorists are actually messing up the security in your country. So we are bringing in our troops, and that's what the French were trying to do in Burkina Faso. And yes, Mr. Godia. So that's how they bring their forces. But in the countries that these colonizers actually rule, like in Kenya, they do not need to use these terrorists, okay? Because the terrorists are the political class, okay? The Rutos, the Uhuru Kenyattas, the Raila Odingas, the elite political class, they have been compromised. They don't need these terrorists. They're doing their bidding. That's why you have this laws like Privatization Act that we have in Kenya, which wants to privatize almost every parastatal, any government, any corporation that's run by the government. They want to tell us that, you know what, if the government is not making profit, let's turn it into the private sector. And actually they give up that corporation to this foreign corporation to run it and make profits and pay zero taxes, while the common mwananchi, the working class, are being burdened by heavy taxes. Just Google right now, Kenya has an economic free zone. We have 28 companies, most of them foreign, and they're paying zero taxes, okay? These corporations are making trillions that if we were smart, if you really cared about the economy and you want to actually have more revenue in the country, these are the corporations that we should be taxing. But Ruto, no. Ruto, being a colonial puppet that he is, he's saying, no, I will tax the Kenyan people who already lives through mega means. So I'm telling you, in East Africa, these colonizers do not need to use these terrorists, okay? Because they understand the terrorists have already compromised. They have their puppets in power to do their bidding. Ask yourself, why did Meg Whitman meet Uhuru Kenyatta a few days ago? What was the deal? I'm telling you, Uhuru Kenyatta, as we know, he's the #1 financier of Mandamano. Mandamano, what is Mandamano? Mandamano, in my opinion, is a terrorist act because these guys are very clever. They behave, they try to act like, oh, we are going to the streets to protest the high cost of living. But no. That's not the main of agenda. That's not the agenda. That's not the agenda. The agenda is to go to the streets and cause as much chaos as they can by causing atrocities, okay, provoking the police forces, and the police forces also equally will respond, okay, with brute force, okay, to make the wananchi scared, feel insecure, and say, you know what? Please, let's have peace. Let Ruto and Raila sit down and work out something, because this mandamano is causing huge loss of life, and people feel insecure. Their business cannot go on because mandamano. This is the main reason why they want mandamano. Raila came last week, a few days ago actually, and he said that he's giving Ruto 48 hours. Don't be fooled. Raila is not an enemy of Ruto. Let me tell you that. Let me make this clear to anyone, and especially you Azimio folks. I'm not hard on Kenya Kwanza guys, because Kenya Kwanza guys, they've realized that Ruto actually played them and they went quiet. They're embarrassed. Even some of them are like, I regret voting for Ruto. But of course, you shouldn't regret. Okay? I'm not saying you should regret because Ruto is a great leader or anything, but I'm just saying at the time when you voted for Ruto, as most of people, they voted for Ruto because they felt Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, they were all perpetuating the same colonizers' interest policies that Uhuru Kenyatta was putting forth that actually were not favorable to the common mwananchi. Remember Raila in his campaign trail, he told us that he will continue the work that Kenyatta was doing, Uhuru Kenyatta. What work did Kenyatta do? He took up loans, millions and trillions of loans that our children and our children's children shall pay for, are burdened with, which we are paying today. Not only that, Raila Odinga, the cost of living was high during Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's not forget that, okay? But Raila Odinga told us that he will continue the work of Mr. Kenyatta. Kenyatta did not shy away from breaking the constitution, brutalizing anyone that will disagree with him. He will jail you. You'll find yourself in Ngong forest, your dead body as Musando, as they kill Musando. He will kill you like the millions of the children who are protesting, who are hoodwinked by Raila Odinga, who are protesting the electoral justice, or injustice, should I say. Okay? Kenyatta did not care. He used Maina Njenga, who today we are parading in any media form, trying to give his story. This terrorist, this mass murderer that we are meant to believe that he's a good person, he cares about the interests of the central province. No. Maina Njenga, the very people who are taking advantage of unemployed youth in central province, turning them into murderous killer to take care of Uhuru's interest. This Maina Njenga should not be walking around free. Maina Njenga should be in committee, okay, tortured every day of his life to his death. Maina Njenga should not be alive. We should arm for torture. I know it is against the UN whatever, which is against torture, but human rights laws. But me personally, if I was the president of Kenya, I will put Maina Njenga and Uhuru Kenyatta and torture them every day, the single day of their natural life. Torture them with Mama Ngina and their kids and their kids' kids. Put Raila Odinga in there too. Torture these people with their kids so that they can feel the pinch of the wananchi. I will take Alonzo Musyoka, torture him to death every day. Torture these people. I will take Kioni, Martha Karua, torture them to their death so they can feel the pain of the common wananchi in Kenya. Because these people are the people who are working with the British colony to impoverish Kenya and make Kenya suffer while they pretend. I'll tell you this, you as the Mio. Let me talk to you as the Mio fuck faces who still think Baba will help you. Okay, ask yourself this. In this narco nonsense that they were talking in Bomas, okay? They were quick to agree on changing the constitution to create position for themselves. While when it came to cost of living, they could not agree. But Raila Odinga, with his big stomach, agreed to this silly narco agreement, okay? Pretending that he's not in favor of this position. You ask yourself that. Why did he sign up upon it? At least Martha Karua had a little dignity, an ounce of dignity, and said, I don't agree with this. At least Wamalwa, that useless empty head. At least he had some ounce of dignity and said, you know what? I don't agree with this. These people, I keep on telling you, the only hope for Kenya to liberate itself from 60 years of British colonization is to have someone like Ibrahim Traore with the help of the Russians. And the number one order of action is this: arrest William Ruto, arrest Raila Odinga, arrest Uhuru Kenyatta, arrest Kalonzo, take them to the committee and televise how they will be tortured in front of the nation. So it serves a purpose to anyone who wants to steal money from the Kenyan people. People like Kip Chirchir, whatever his name is, the CS for Energy, who came yesterday while JKIA loses power every day. These are the people that we should brutalize in torture and show the Wananchi that you're serious. Kenya, we should not play. The number one problem in Kenya is not corruption and all that stuff that you're talking about. I will tell you the number one problem in Kenya. The number one in Kenya is this: is the upper class, this political, irredeemably corrupt, rotten politician, elitist. These people do not respect the constitution. That's the problem. We do not have respect of the law. So they'll commit murder like Baraza. What's his name? Didmas Baraza commits murder in public and still stands as an MP. Babu Owino shoots somebody in the camera and still wants to run for governor. It's as if the more you commit crime, the higher up you can go in a public office. This is what I'm talking about. The problem in Kenya is the lack of respect for the rule of law, whether it's the government, whether it's this political elites, okay? The justice system is just as corrupt. At least they're trying, but they're just as corrupt. Maraga tried to clean it up. Maraga did a good job. I will say that Maraga did a good job, but it almost cost him his life. Uhuru Kenyatta threatened him, shot Mwita, Justice Mwita's bodyguard, in order to serve his second term. This is what I'm talking about. Nobody is holding these politicians. I call them these colonizers, these colonial stooges that you call MPs, the colonial stooges that you call CSS, the colonial stooges that you call the president, the colonial stooges that you call the judges. These are the people the next president of Kenya needs to torture, brutalize them on camera so it can serve as a lesson to anyone who wants to steal from the Wananchi. China became a superpower because they have a law. If you're caught in any corrupt deal, if you break the law, you will be killed. You'll be shot by what? To death. You are shot on camera, and they show people that if you are corrupt, you'll be shot. Within 30 years, China became a superpower today where they can challenge the United States of America, China and Russia. The same thing with Singapore. I've been singing. If you don't respect the rule of law, this is what you'll have. You'll have idiots. You'll have conmen like Raila Odinga, who's pretending to stand with the people, okay? They use their KTN, KBC, all those FM radios and stuff to program the people, the Wananchi, who are semi-literate, okay? And think that these people are an enigma. Raila is not an enigma. Raila is a welder who never have any degree. Ruto has no PhD. Kenyatta did not finish any education. He has no education. He came to Amherst here in Boston and never learned anything. Go ask him for a degree. These are illiterates. They're thugs, gangsters that run Kenya. They were handpicked by the British Empire, okay, to make sure that the British, okay, get their hands on the minerals, resources of Kenya and East Africa in general. You see Museveni, the dictator, okay? He's also grew tired of the American rule, the British rule. He said, you know what? I'm not signing up to this. He even went and signed up and told Putin that, Putin, I'm standing with you. Regardless, Museveni also should be hanged to death because he's no better. Okay, but back to Kenya. Okay, revolution starts at home. Revolution starts at home. I keep on telling my Azimio friends, you keep on saying that Raila has never had a chance to rule, that if he has chance, he shall revolutionize Kenya. Let's take you back. Let me jog your memory back to history. This man had an opportunity to become president. Twice he wanted to become a president. He won the elections. More than twice, actually. But I'll use twice. 2007, when he was supposed to be the president. But he backed down and he took the lesser half, okay? Kacheo and a few carpets here to negotiate with Kibaki, okay? Then come 2017, when majority of us, some of us, went there and say that Raila, whether he likes it or not, he shall be declared the president, the people's president of Kenya. But what did Raila do? He turned his back on Kenyans. And this is the person that you want to tell me that wants to bring Kenya into Canaan. This is a con man that needs to be hanged. Him with his children and his children's children. And Ida needs to be hanged. These are pretenders that are bringing Kenya down and are forcing Luos to die and died. People have died in Kenya because of Raila Odinga, especially in Nyanza province. And it's a pretender pretending to be helping Wananchi. He pretends to be the con man. He's not an enigma. He's a con man who has conned a lot of millions of people into their death. It is rumored, it is said, that he's the reason why Ochuka died in 1982. He was nabbed by Moi and he started singing. He started snitching on his fellow people at the Air Force. That's why they were hanged. And this is the very colonial stooge that is standing up, still causing chaos in Kenya. Him and Uhuru Kenyatta, these two families, the Kenyatta family and Raila Raila Odinga needs to be hanged to death. We should not leave these people living. They have caused a lot of suffering in Kenya, pretending, okay, with their propaganda, with Kalonzo Musyoka. We should not let them live. It's time. This is an opportunity for Kenyans to stand up against these irredeemably corrupt people. The Maina Njangas, the Kioni, Martha Karua, who every year after year, they try to pretend that they've changed, that they're revolutionaries, while they gain from the system, okay? Ruto has murdered people, okay? He has murdered people, Marcomen, corrupt, still is in power. Raila Odinga, he has been corrupt since he was born, okay? Uhuru Kenyatta, who has been working for MI6, the British agency, since he was a child, okay? Who has been brutalized Luos in Kenya, who has killed a lot of youth, okay? Through that Matiangi, they've killed a lot of youth, while you, lobotomized parrots, on Azimio still telling us that Kenyatta's rule was better, okay? Stop lying to us. I'm telling you. Now you see they want to change the constitution. They want to change the constitution so they can continue ruling you with an iron fist, okay? They let Raila Odinga become the prime minister, okay? They want Raila to be the prime minister. Kalonzo Musyoka to be a CS of whatever bullshit he wants to, okay? Mudavadi, okay? The son of Soapstone, Mudamba, okay? He should be called Mudambas because he has never done anything in his life, okay? You want to create a position for these people to continue ruling Kenya, sending out Kenya to this international IMF, World Bank, the British colony, who has ruled Kenya for more than 60 years since they touched down in the continent of Africa. You people need to stand up, okay? Enough of this bullshit about blackouts and Nyakango and all this CS nonsense that we hear every day. People like this CS of trade who just left. I don't know his name is Moses Kuria. These are people who should not be free, walking free, who are implicit or complicit in the murder of Msando. And these are people who you call the CS. We still listen to their bullshit, okay? You keep up with them. For you Azimio folks, and let me talk to you for you Azimio folks who still think that Raila Odinga is on your side. Raila Odinga is on your side. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully, okay? Listen to me carefully. Until you free your mind and recognize that freedom will only come when you revolutionize your mind to see that these people, these elitists, okay, they rub shoulders at night and run a game on us every day. Ask yourself, how many lives shall it take for you guys to realize that you're being played? How many people have died in Mandamano and not even one has been given any money, okay, have been compensated? The children were brutalizing Nyalenda, brutalizing Kibera. How many have they given money? Even Raila said, pay them off. Please, my people went out there and protested and they were killed. How many of them have been paid as a compensation in the Mandamano violence? How many businesses that were destroyed were paid by the government, okay? While Raila Odinga wants to call for another Mandamano. I'm telling you, these people are all colonial puppets. You'll see them tomorrow giving speeches, useless speeches, okay, to create controversy. They'll use Gachagua, the useful idiot, to go there and say something about Raila. And then Raila will also stand up and say something equally stupid in response to Gachagua. And Ruto will stand up and say and another idiotic stuff, trying to have convince us that he wants to send workers in Israel, okay? You should create jobs at home, not in Israel, okay? There's no need. Kenyans are not getting their degrees so they can go to Israel to become a mbotch. Kenyans are not getting their PhD so they can go to Saudi Arabia to become somebody's mbotch, okay? Ruto is a colonial puppet and is continue what Uhuru Kenyatta started. Ladies and gentlemen, my message to you is this: Kenya, as you celebrate the 60th year of being colonized by the British, okay, through these proxies called the political class, this irredeemably corrupt colonial stooges. I'll name their names again: Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, okay, Ruto, and the rest of them, Kalonzo Musyoka. These are colonial bastards that are keep on impoverishing the Kenyan people. Until you realize that and stand up, we need a national populist movement, Kenya Rebel, where the real revolution shall start. And it should not be peaceful. It will be very violent. We should tell them, like Castro told Batista, you have two choices, buddy. You either take a private plane and get out of Kenya, or it is your head that's on the plate. Your head on the plate. The head is your head, or you take a private plane. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I can't hold it today, but I'll stop there. I'll stop there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll stop there. Subscribe, share, comment, and I will talk to you the next time I'm calmed, because I can't calm down right now. I can't calm down when I think about